All right, so if I start off, it says open up Textpad, which I have open, and it's this white screen right here, right? Three locations. You're going to see right here. This is where you put your code. You copy and paste, you put it in here. Most of you thought to do that correctly. This is an explorer that says any files that are open, and this down here will tell you all your errors. Now, if you can't see it down there, I think you can grab this bar and pull it up a little more so you can see the errors. And that's probably where you've had some errors and you notice they're choppy and they don't explain themselves pretty well and they don't help you lead back to what your errors are. That's the way errors are going to be a lot. However, sometimes they do tell you the line of code that's a mistake, something that's out of place, something that's missing, and it can help you. But if you have errors, you have to fix them before you move on. So what it says is open TextPad, blah, blah, blah. We got it. Place hello world code in the upper right. So I need to be able to open this hello world code. I am just using existing code. Don't try typing it yourself for now, because you could have some missing semicolon or uppercase versus lowercase. And because of that, it could say that, oh, you know what, your entire program is wrong, and then it doesn't run correctly. I'm going to take that, copy it, and paste it in the upper right corner here. And that's exactly what most of you did, right? Continuing to follow the directions, it now says save as a Java file. File, save as, or F12, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to, in here, I'm going to take this and file, save as a Java file. Okay? Now, I'm saving as this Java file. Right now, it prompts it, and it says text. I don't want it as a text file. I want it as a Java file. So you have to tell it to be a Java file, and I bet half of you left it as text because you didn't realize that that was necessary. But hey, now you know that you need to go down here and say it's going to be of type Java, not JS JavaScript, but Java. Secondly, what do I save it as and where do I save it? If you just save it randomly right there, you're saving it and it's going to go away. We just made a folder in the Google Drive, your G Drive, your My Directory, called APCS 2024 that you can save it in. If you don't save it there, it won't know where it is. I'm going to even put it in my intro folder. Does everybody say that? So I have it placed somewhere where I know where to reference it. Final step of the save as. Guess what? I didn't point this out. In the directions, it might have said just save as. The name of the file is what comes after the public class. So if I name it here test, then I better name it here test. Otherwise, it won't sync up. So your first lesson is when you're saving files, name it whatever that is. You already said public class this, so you just copy and paste it. So I'm going to have to put uppercase, lowercase, case sensitive is important. Hello world with a capital H and a capital W. That's what it needs to be saved as. You don't put .txt, you don't put .java, you don't put anything because it already says it's a Java file. I bet that's where a lot of people went wrong, right? Whether it was the one type of file or the naming convention. If you save it as document 1, that doesn't help. Save it as file, that doesn't help. If I save it as hello world, and then I hit save in my folder, it should change colors. And then you at least know you're in the right direction. How many people in here got it to change colors when they did it themselves? 1, 2, 3. So you got a little further than some of the others. When you got it to change colors, you knew you at least saved as, and it was a Java file. But if it wasn't the right name, it still wouldn't have worked. So hey, are you okay so far? Now, I didn't really put that in this other tutorial, but now you understand some of the specifics, and you also know down in the bottom is where your errors are going to be. So if you ever do have an error, you know where to go and look. Everybody watch up here. Okay? I now have saved this, and I want to test it to see if there's any errors in my code. So in order to test it to see if I have any errors in my code, I follow to the step one. By the way, it already said, oh, wait, it did say match the file name with the program name. I put it in there, but it just, did you read it closely? Did you see? And the file name appears after public class. In any case, look at the specifics. Save it as a Java. It's that little drop down. We're good. Now we're here. Now we're to compiling. Last 2 bullet points. Compiling means you're testing your code for errors. In order to compile, it says go to Tools, External Tools, Compile Java. So I'm going to go in here up to Tools. I'm going to go to the bottom where it says External Tools, and I'm going to click on Compile Java or do that little shortcut it said in the future. Boom. If I compile it, I now will get errors or no errors down in the bottom. Because I have this code that I wrote, or copied and pasted in this example, placed it in here, tested it by compiling it. If you don't get tool completed successfully, your program will never run. Make sense? See how this works? You will never get to the black screen, the execution of it, what you're trying to get to, the actual program running, the game running, the business application running, whatever you're trying to build, you're never going to get there unless this tool is completed successfully. Now, once it is everybody's tool completed successfully, now we want to go and execute it or run it so that we can see it running. Execute program by going to Tools, External Tools, and Run Java Application, not an applet. That's when we get into gaming and images and stuff like that. Right now, we're just going to run the most basic application. So I go to Tools, External Tools, Run Java Application. It brings up the black screen, runs the code that's in front of me, and all it does is says Hello World back. That's not because the name is Hello World. It's because this one line of code that says System Out Print Line prints something to the screen. Okay? Now get there. If you haven't already gotten there, I'm going to go ahead and stop this right here because I know